Previously on Hablando Plepla con las primas, Battle of the Sexes.
I'm already winning.
Ya.
Because that's one of the problems. But continue.
Welcome to La Batalla del Siglo, the battle of the sexes. So I gotta ask, are you gonna go all in or are you holding back because you know who will be listening and waiting for you tonight?
I will hold back nothing. Let me at that point as number 2. No se arreglen y no quieren que uno se arregle.
¿Quién es más organizado? ¿El hombre o la mujer?
We are very good at categorizing.
I think you might.
I'm sorry, what? This is why it's why men and women are good together. Together, we're good. Separate, not so much. On both sides. I have always said men are crazy. Men are dumb. Plain and simple, men are dumb. Women are crazy.
For the people back there. Oh, wait a minute. Hold on.
I'm always thinking, like, how do you have time to enjoy yourself?
Are you guys afraid of the garbage? Do you think the garbage is the garbage monster? Like, why would you leave the empty carton of stuff on the counter and the garbage is right there?
I can smell it. Give me another word for crazy, because I don't want to keep saying crazy.
We are very
Lunatic.
no. We are very passionate.
It takes 21 times to become a habit.
Hazme favor, arréglame el closet, ponme la tabla en el closet, we gotta fix it. Y él me dice, ahorita, right, después. And then once those 4 or 5 months pass, I go, let's say to his brother, hágame favor, hágame esto.
Espera.
Why is that a problem?
Are you doing that because you really need the help, or are you doing that to jab him because you know that's going to go up his ass?
I don't like this game.
One thing men want more than anything is peace at home. Respirar or breathe.
Un loco.
She goes, you want to come with me? Please. So I look at her and I go, no saco. No saco.
Is it wrong to go through each other's phone?
Here's part 2 of Battle of the Sexes.
Is it wrong to go through each other's phone?
Ooh.
One thing I'm not going to use
wrong.
me. I'm going to use Shakira and her husband. They're both are constantly using each other's phone in and out, like it's just open. And I think that is the best and healthiest relationship, you know? When I saw that, I was like, wow, it does exist. There are possibilities. Mm-hmm. But then, it comes to show, wait a minute, they're not being unfaithful to each other, because if si tú estás escondiendo algo, then then you gotta worry,
Yeah. So I don't have a problem with it. I think it all depends. Because people I've always seen where it's like, if you feel like you have to do that, then you're already losing, right? Mm. The relationship is already in an issue if you feel you have to. Mm. Can you? You should be able to. Absolutely. Like, I have no problem, leaving it around, or she really has no problem leaving hers around. You know what I mean? So, but I never feel like that need to go and look and see, like, ¿qué está pasando? ¿Qué está pasando? Because there's also, the devil is a liar. And
oh, yeah.
There's that. Mm-hmm. And so you may be scrolling and see something with no context, mm-hmm. and take it to passionate levels.
0 to sexy.
Right. Take it to passionate levels. Right. And so what she and I have always said, and she kind of taught me this more than anything, is I just leave it alone. God will handle that. Mm-hmm. When it's gonna all shit, right? It's not shit. Sorry. All things come to light. I'm going to say all shit rises, but it's not, shit doesn't rise.
Well, it doesn't be flushed.
But he said it's going to know that soon. No, but things come to light, right? And if things are happening, like with me, I always say, like, if something suspicious is happening, there's going to be signs, and I'm not even going to have to go through the phone to find whatever the signs are. It's going to come out, if you know your person, the personality changes, the patterns change. You know your man. Mm-hmm. You know your son. I know my wife. I know the patterns, and it's not that I'm writing them down and that I'm paying attention, but there's things that they do and don't do, and then all of a sudden now they want to do it, and So those things that cause red flags, and I always say, you trust your instinct, you pick up on it, but also check yourself, because if you know that you're a person that is prone to being psycho,
passionate. We decided
then
to use passionate.
don't look through that phone. You know what I'm saying? If the person you're with has given you reason to, then you already know. You already know.
Yeah.
Exactly.
They also say no busque lo que tú no estás listo para enfrentar, right? Like don't go searching if you're not ready. To, right? So, yeah.
I had that conversation with a really good friend of mine, and I was like, if you are suspecting this is happening, are you prepared for the answer that may come back? Because everybody thinks that I'm going to find this out. I'm gonna. But are you prepared to do what you need to do if you are right? Because not everybody's ready to do that. No, but not everybody's ready to do that. So it's like, if you're not prepared to do that, then mejor deja tranquilo and wait for the truth to come out on its own.
Look at Bree, she's going back. She's
going back. Yeah,
every time she's
going way back in time.
No, she's writing everything that you say. This is pissing me off because you ain't even helping me.
It'll come out, man.
No, I'm just
this is like a free therapy for you, Bree.
I was just remembering the time when you used to work in the radio station, and then I called in talking about how I made believe I created a fake Facebook account to see if my boyfriend then would cheat on me, and how that guy
totally did. And he gave numbers, and no, I'm just kidding.
No, I mean, yeah, he totally did. But then the guy that you was working with got really pissed about that. How you? And I was like, well, why are you getting upset? Are you doing something? I came at him with that, Do you remember that day?
Yeah, I remember. And
he got heated.
Yeah, he did. The day you find out if that's the truth.
The day that I found that out it was the truth, sadly, I became very passionate, and then I let go. I had to, because after learning this stuff, and now wait a minute, it's like, damn, do you do this with every female? Send them love songs from all day long, and then make them feel special, and this and that.
Oh, wait, so you're asking this because this is what he did for you, and so now you're replaying everything and wondering if he did all that for everybody else. That's where the mental games get the best of you. Yeah, you don't, and this is something that I've always thought about. Right, is people have a hard time letting go of this person that you're about to break up with. Right. Mm-hmm. It's hard enough to break up, but there's people that, and I've never understood it. You're letting go of the person, but you're still looking to win these arguments with them, right? You're breaking up. You guys are not on good terms. You're separating. You're leaving. You're leaving a shared home, or you're just separating. Mm-hmm. But you're doing things to each other via text, via emails, and in other ways, like to get back at them for something, to win this argument, to whatever that is, right? Or to, and when it comes to if you're getting divorced, then you're looking at who's gonna get this book that that we love so much or whatever. That's something else. But I've talked to people that they're in the middle of the separation, and they are constantly doing things to each other, like to hurt each other. And I'm like, just walk away. If you're walking away, just walk away. Just walk away. I always think there's so many people on this earth. So many people on this earth. And this came from one of my professors when I was in college. Because you're in college, you're young, and I'm going through a breakup. And just heartbroken about the breakup or whatever. And we're going through that whole, not texting, because texting wasn't around back then, but trying to hurt each other as you're on the way out. And she sat me down and she's like, there are so many people on this earth. Do you think that your person, the one person that is going to, be your soulmate, is that person that you just met at this age right now? Do you think that God put that person in your circle right now for that? Or do you think this is just another person that you've met, you've grown with a little bit or whatever, you've dated, and now it's time to move on. Just move on. You're going to meet so many more people. And that always stuck with me. I'm like, it's true. There's so many people, so many
Many
personalities.
flavors.
Yeah. And you also, if you don't know your own personality, if you don't know your personality, then you don't know what you are attracted to, really. You don't know what you're attracted to. If you don't know your own personality, if you don't know your love language, you don't know what you're attracted to until you get to a certain age. And this is why I say guys shouldn't get married, until
they're ready.
To a certain age. Because you're obviously financially you're in a better place, but also mentally you're not there. And that's where the mistakes come.
That I agree with. They definitely, I think, because, as they say, most women mature
early on.
Early on, most, because nowadays I see stuff where, weirdly enough, before we started getting together, or discussing the battle of the sexes, I kept seeing stuff on Instagram where the girls talk about, well, what you bring to the table. I'm a gold digger and I need a man that has all the money because, I need to get my nails done and I need this and I need that. And then the guy's like, well, what are you
bringing to the table?
Yeah.
I'm bringing me. It's a touchy subject, right? To step in without sounding like you want your partner, female partner, to be home barefooted and whatever. But when there's a whole, and I'm not going to say woke culture, there's a whole culture of men now that have been awakened to this game that's been happening for centuries, right? Where men are groomed to be providers. Groomed since the time since you're little. Speaking for myself, you're groomed that you gotta get a job, you gotta build a career or whatever that is, or if it's not a career, then what the job is. And everything that we are made to do is, or made to gain, is to win over the woman that we want, right? Animal kingdom, same thing. You see the two birds. There's a bird doing all this dancing and all this stuff because he wants to win, and she's like, "Nah, I'm not interested." He flies off. The next one comes over. Hey, my feathers are bigger. It's the same thing with us, right? So you go, you get a great job, you have a good career, you get paid really well, you buy the nice cars for what? It's not for yourself. You buy the nice car so that you can look flashy for that woman or those women that you want, right? Name it. If we're getting it, it's because we're looking to be attractive to women or a woman.
Correct.
But then now with all this podcasting and people talking, people aren't getting married anymore. Right? Why? Because men have been now speaking to each other, which we never did before, about, okay, so if you're bringing this to the table, right, providing this and that, and all that this person is bringing is herself, and that's supposed to be enough, is that a good trade-off, right? So this is where it gets into machismo. So what is she bringing to the table? She's going to create a home for you. That to me sounds perfect. I wish I had the kind of career that I can have my wife not ever work, right? And she's home all day and she's doing only things that are building my home. That's not what we have. But it would be amazing if she's building this home and that's what she brings to the table. I think it's somewhere in the Bible. It's like you gave a woman a house because you got a lease. I mean, you got a loan. You bought a house. She'll turn it into a home, right? If you give her a child, she's gonna turn it into what. So a woman is made to do that. Yeah. That's what she brings to the table. Beautiful, except that there's this game of like I'm gonna catch this man who makes this much money because I want to live this life of luxury, but I don't want to do any of the things that he is going to require of me because this is America and women don't have to do anything, or women don't have to XYZ whatever. And this is where I become careful about how I say what I say because it could sound like what we talked about before. But if you're not going to bring the skills of a woman that's going to turn my house into a home, raise my children in a certain way with values that I think are important, and just look to spend money. And if that spend my money, then what are you bringing to the table?
Correct.
Now I say all that, looking over my shoulder, because the woman that I'm with, she could not, as much as she says she wants to, she could not be a stay-at-home homemaker. She can't. I know because she's such a go-getter. She's such a go-getter. She's such a go-getter. You know,
which is not a bad thing. It's not a bad thing.
No, absolutely not. She's a career. She's a career woman.
She's a career-minded woman.
I met her late in her life. You know, she had built a whole career. We've tried to have her stay home, but she gets really passionate when she's home, not doing much. Right? So we've come to the realization that no, even if I start making so much money that she doesn't have to, she does need to do something, because if not, she's gonna go passionate in this house, you know.
But you see, that's different, because at least it's not like she's just sitting there, you're working, and then you get home and the house is looking like crap. There's no dinner, nothing, you know, the dishes are dirty, and then then you're demanding, well, where's my money so I could go get my hair did, my nails, you know, or something, you know.
That's a whole other thing.
Yeah.
That's what I mean, that there are women out there that have been running that game for all this time, and now because men are talking and speaking up, it's coming to light that that's the game you've been playing. That Correct. You can do these things and get me a maid, get me a babysitter, get me a nanny, and I'm just gonna be basking in the sun, looking at the pool boy. Hay problema.
Yep.
Yeah.
You know.
Hay problema grande. Yep.
Yeah, and the other thing too is the expectation. So I'm not somebody that comes home expecting dinner to be cooked. I have some people we all have some people in our lives that have that expectation. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Some of our older elders are like that, where they have the expectation is when I get home, that plate better be ready. You know, I don't have that expectation because I know that is to me a privilege, right? Mm-hmm. So there's times where she'll call and she'll say, "You want me to make anything?" And I'm like, "Are you tired? Have you, yeah, I'm tired. All right, so let's just order out, or I'll make a ham and cheese. I'm good." But there's days where I come home and there's no question I'm coming home starving, and there's a huge ass plate or meal that she's made and it's delicious. But I don't have the expectation of ese plato tiene que estar ahí or va a pasar problema or whatever, because I know that's a privilege. Especially, oh my God, I had this argument once. Older guy had the expectation because I'm from where I'm from and la mujer tiene que whatever, but his wife worked full time, right? And so I'm like, so let me ask you this. So you have the expectation from your country, which was Dominican Republic, of a man whose wife stays home all day because he provides everything. So he demands for her to, at least the expectation for him is, at least when I get home, there should be a plate, a meal, whatever. You should be that. You have that expectation of a woman who's not staying home all day. She's working a full-time job. Comes home and you expect her to have that dinner ready for you because you are the man of the house. You're going out to make you're working the same amount of hours that she is. You come home and you're tired, but you expect her to pick up and cook food and whatever. Oh my God, we almost got into a fist fight because he was like, "You're wrong." And I'm like, "I'm not wrong. Your expectation is ridiculous." No. And I'm like, I would never tell her that. Obviously, I would never step into that. But I'm like, you're arguing with me and you're arguing with the wrong person about it. That expectation is for somebody who's home all day long because you're providing everything.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
Because if you have your job 9 to 5, then this is my 9 to 5 here. Don't mess up my house. Don't mess up my job.
Yeah. That's the 50-50, right? Type of relationship. We both work full-time jobs. We're both contributing to this home and to our partnership. But your expectation of me is a little bit beyond that because now you expect me to also be doing all this other stuff. When you come home, take off your shoes with your sock, with the hole in the sock, te tira ahí a ver.
Porque se lo va a poner mañana otra vez.
A ver película and I gotta go and cook, I'm tired like you are.
Exactly.
What did you say, sis?
I said, no, porque se lo va a poner mañana otra vez. Que tira todas you just said, you know what I'm saying?
The holy sock.
Se lo va a poner mañana también with the host.
Holy sock. Holy sock.
We said that. Let's go another hour.
Let's go another hour.
For those thinking, you see how she lays back? That's when you know she's like, yeah, I'm just gonna take notes here. Forget about helping women.
I'm not gonna run this show. I'm just gonna.
I kind of feel that it was actually maybe it's what we need. We need therapy. We you know what? We came into a place of growth where I think the younger generation are the ones that need to grow up and realize, you know what? If you don't get it together, you're gonna find yourself Rocco single. And vice versa for men too. Like, hey, we're not in the 18th century. Women have to work now. Fortunately, because some idiot burned her bra, and we had it good then.
What the heck was that?
That's where you put the song. I'm giving you the cue. No. The sound effect. Talking about women's liberation, and they burned the bra, and now because of that,
and now we gotta work and pay half the rent and put in half.
You see those videos where the woman says, "When I get to heaven and I meet the woman that burned her bra, she smacks her."
Oh, I never heard of that. Like, what are you talking about?
It was always about an option. We want the option to be able to work, not to be made to work.
Exactly. Yeah. We need to get it together again. Burn a new bra. We want the option.
Burn the other side, the left side of the bra. Yeah, therapy. You mentioned therapy.
I do therapy. Well, I used to.
Yeah, but that's the thing is that if you're doing it, but your spouse is not.
Oh, yeah.
That can be frustrating.
Mm-hmm.
Because they're not getting the same enlightening, huh?
No, they also say start it off, and then
invite them in.
I mean that doesn't, because a lot of men don't. They think about therapy. They think about they look at you like crazy. Like,
yo no soy apasionada.
Yo soy loco. Eso sí, ajá.
Yeah, and that's the stigma is that if you're going to therapy, it's because you're crazy.
Right.
And in reality, you're just looking for somewhere to vent. Mm-hmm. But the other option is, okay, we're not going to go to therapy. Let's go to a pastor, not a priest.
A pastor.
A pastor. Yeah.
I am as religious as the next person, but and this is something a pastor said to me once: if I'm going to go to war, I need a general that has a limp to take me there, because I know that general is going to get me out. Mm-hmm. He's been through some stuff, right? So if I'm going to go to a church to talk about my relationship, I need to speak to a male pastor
who's
married to a female, whatever, because she could be a pastor as well. And if you're lucky, they're both pastors, and they meet with you separately, and then they meet with you together. If you're lucky, if you can find that, because that's the thing is that, okay, we're not going to therapy to a licensed therapist because we're not crazy, but we'll go to a pastor who's just a person just like you and I. This is the man that I'm going to sit with, and he's going to tell me I'm going to tell him about my struggles. He's going to tell me about the struggles that he's been through and how he used the word of God to whatever, right? Or what his experience was to get to whatever. And we don't got to talk about God in the Bible while we're sitting there all the time. We're literally the way you see it is just two guys, the same way two guys would be at a bar talking about, but we're not going to go to a bar to talk about our problems. We're going to go to a bar to drink our problems away.
Correct.
Pastors will sit there and speak to you about the issues, and this is how I did it. This is what I needed to do. This is what I figured out. That may open up your spouse to like, all right, maybe this is kind of what therapy is.
That is a great idea, actually.
Yeah.
And plus, because a pastor and or a couple, a pastor and his wife, that they've been married millions of years, they've
gone through it.
They've gone through it. Oh yeah, their life was never. No, they have their mess that became a message.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Do you think that this is my final question? That's it.
Keep going. We don't have to do finals.
No, we do.
I'm gonna mess up your edit.
Shut up.
You know what I'm gonna do right now? I'm gonna change my clothes. So,
So it looks like a part 2. We should just divide it. That's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna divide it.
And then you and I, we're gonna look like the
Yeah.
mañana pile clothes.
I'm gonna
Exactly.
divide it.
Also.
Oh, we gotta continue it the next day.
Do you think that for a man, one of the reasons why they don't like to do therapy is because for them, it's admitting that there's something broken. Like they like to feel like I can fix it. We don't have to go nowhere else.
Yeah. Okay, you got to think of it desde el principio when you're growing up. A kid falls, right? A little girl falls and starts crying. Ay, ven mi amor, ven. ¿Qué te pasó? ¿Te diste? Ay, Jesús.
Yeah.
Dime qué te pasó. Ay, me pasó esto. Ok, eso no es nada, mi amor. No te preocupes. A boy falls, and this is cultural, right? A boy falls. Mire, coño, los hombres no lloran. Párese de ahí. Siga para adelante. No, papi, pero me dolió. Que siga para adelante. Que una mariquita. Whatever you're saying, go keep playing. So it's cut your emotions.
Yeah.
You're not
That's
supposed to
not
show
healthy.
that. Keep moving along. Men don't behave that way. So you take that now. You add 30 years of that, 40 years of that, right? And it's not so much that I feel like if I go to therapy that I'm admitting that I'm wrong or that I'm crazy. I don't even know how to open up. What are you going to ask me? Because if you're going to get me in touch with my emotions and that those emotions are going to make me cry, I'm not supposed to do that. That's going to make me uncomfortable. I'm not comfortable with that, so I'm not getting involved in that. And that's what it is. And I guarantee you, I mean, now men go to therapy all the time. No, there's no question. And people are really open about it, which is cool. That even on radio shows, Spanish ones, they're talking about, yo estaba con mi terapista, me dio tal cosa. Because people are so open about it, you hear it. It's like, yo no sabía cómo decir esto. Yo no sabía cómo hablar esto. Yo no entendía cómo esto y esto. But through help with the therapist, helps. And I say this as someone who's never been to therapy. I've been to one a long time ago, but I've always met with pastors, and I've also done a lot of like self-help books, right, and podcasts and listening and all that. So and then also because of that, I guess I'll get calls. I usually get calls from guys all the time, especially because of the radio show. They would call me after, hey, listen, this is what I'm going through, which is great because it opens up. Now I think there's a lot more availability for men to open up and say stuff. But anyway, my point was, you're taught not to show your emotions because it makes you uncomfortable until it's not made to feel comfortable, or whatever the mystery is of behind that door. If I'm gonna, because you got to think, I'm gonna go where? I'm gonna go through a door and I'm gonna sit inside of this room and I'm gonna meet with who? I don't know this person. I'm gonna tell them about my life. Until that mystery is gone, which now it is because they're revealing that stuff, right? You can see therapy sessions on YouTube or whatever. Until that's gone, I don't think guys who have been raised that way are going to feel comfortable enough to do that. What I will say is this. There's nice books that you can get that trick your guy into doing the things in the book because everything ends with sex.
Facts.
Everything ends with sex. So you get a book. I forgot. There's a couple of books, but you get a book and it tells you, you want to get closer with your spouse. You want to do nice things for them, and so it gives you chores. So if you should on Wednesday you should pick up flowers for no reason and drop them off and do this. But then to the woman it says, and if you get those flowers, this is how you should, not repay, but this is how you should reward that behavior so that the person feels like doing that all the time. How do you reward the behavior? Sex. Listen, we didn't talk about sex. Sex is an important part of your relationship. I don't give a shit who you are.
That's true.
I don't give two shits who
It's
you
a
are.
connection.
Even if it's 1, 2, thank you, ma'am, or what is it? 1, bam, whatever.
Wham, bam,
Still a
thank you,
Wham,
ma'am.
bam, thank you, ma'am. It doesn't matter.
Still a
It doesn't matter
connection.
how the sex is. It doesn't matter. Let me give it to you this way. Your spouse has committed to the monogamy that comes with marriage. You are the only person this man is allowed to have sex with. Sex is the way that he connects with his woman.
Just
That's
put on
it.
different wig.
This is the way he connects with his woman, right? You deny him that, then you've denied him the connection, the only way to connect with you that he has. You have a different way to connect, for him to connect with you. Sácame a comer, sácame a bailar, tráeme flores. You have all these different ways. He only has one. There's only one, right? So the minute you deny it, you're denying that one connection. It's like if you ask him, sácame a bailar. No, yo no quiero bailar. Sácame a comer. No, no quiero comer. Tráeme flores. Yo no te voy a traer mierda. How long are you going to stay with him? How long are you going to stay with him?
Yo tengo hambre. Come mierda.
Right. And she is again with mierda. Like, what's going on? It's an obsession. But you get what I'm saying? So to me, I'm not saying it because I'm, things are perfect. We have this conversation all the time. Like, this is the way that I want, that I know, the only way that I know to connect with you is this way. And tigre caminando por allá atrás, mira. I think I saw Bigfoot walk by.
Él siempre hace un cameo.
It's exciting.
Él siempre hace un cameo.
Yo,
Always.
Look at him in comparison to the refrigerator.
Mind you, he's
He
like 10 years
covers
old.
the refrigerator.
I think he's 10 years old.
He was that size when he was 10.
When he was 10.
No doubt.
When he was a
He had the
newborn.
beard too and everything.
They can't hear you.
I know
He can't hear
That's why I'm talking the shit, because you can't hear me. So come over. What's up, cuz? I'll see you soon.
So we actually have a question from one of the audience members. Her name is Brenda. She says, question.
No. Go ahead.
She says, there's a lot of pressure being a woman today. We might have already
Wait,
answered
stop
that
right there. Stop right there. You can stop right there. You can stop right there. Because you don't have to preface the question with, I'm under a lot of pressure. We're all under a lot of pressure. But go ahead.
She says, we have to work full time, cook, clean, care for the kids, all while wearing heels and faja and makeup. Would men survive a week living as a woman, including heels, cramps, and unsolicited advice?
Unsolicited advice.
But
Could we survive a week
in heels?
as a woman.
No, let's go down that list. So give me the first one.
We have to work full time.
Let's stop right there. I work full time. Go ahead.
Cook, clean.
Okay, stop. So take whatever that is parallel to that men would do. So cook, whatever is parallel. Fix the car, right? Take the car to the mechanic to get it fixed. I'll give you an example. Today I had to take the car to the mechanic. I had to wake up earlier than everybody in the house, right? So I left people sleeping in my house. I had to leave because the mechanic needed me to be there at 7 a.m. When I got there, because everybody's sleeping, normally you just get a ride from, your spouse. Hey, pick me up. Everybody's sleeping. I got no ride, right? So I'm going to take an Uber back home. But instead, when I got there, the mechanic said, you're missing a part. You need to get it at AutoZone. But I can't take the car because he's already got the car up and ready to go. So I got to walk 25 minutes to AutoZone, right, to go get it. At that time, in calor, because I live in 90-something. So I'm not in heels, but I got to make that walk. Yeah. Are you going to make that walk?
In heels.
This is a trick question.
Are you going to make that walk?
Is a trick
right?
question, Brie.
So, so I'm saying, what I'm saying is, imagine me telling my wife, I'm not doing that. You do that. Take it to the mechanic yourself. You make that walk, right? You deal with every piece of it. So I'm just saying there's a parallel to cooking and cleaning, right? It's not my car. I'm taking her car. So continue. What's the other one?
It was
cooking, cleaning,
wearing. Yeah. Oh, care for the kids.
Okay. Now, here I'll jump in and I'll say, this is difficult for me to figure out because everybody does it differently. There are men that are super involved in their the raising of the kids and being with the kids and all that. But just like I told Emily when we were getting married, when she was like, I want a baby, I want a kid. I was like, please understand, if we're gonna become pregnant at the age that we're at, because we were older already, that child is going to be all about mommy all the time. Daddy's fun. Daddy does windmills. Daddy does roller coasters. But the need the child has is coming from mommy. So you can't blame us for the need that your child has to be for you to do things for them. And I don't blame women, because I've been there when we're both sitting in the same spot and my daughter needs something. Mommy, I'm hungry. And she'll say it. Your daddy's right there. Why are you going to mommy? So I'll bounce up and I'll make you something. Let's go. But the child is looking for mommy, so I get that. I totally get. But again, if your husband does nothing, then that's a conversation. But I'm sure that her spouse or husband contributes in some way. I'm hoping, but continue.
I also think
I'll buy a box of pizza.
Yeah, no, I also think that also depending on the man's upbringing, I think a lot, like I would say in my husband's case, by Dominicano, for him, he feels working his ass off, bringing the money, even though I work too, that is his contribution.
That's the contribution.
Right.
And that's all it is. Yeah. And again, that's why I'm saying it's hard for me to answer, because it all depends on the couple and how they have decided they're going to be doing that. Because in the case of your husband, to me, the work that dude does, the type of work that he does, there's no energy when he gets home.
Right.
And he does a lot more to me when I see him, a lot more once he gets home, right? That goes completely unrewarded. And I don't mean by uses. I just mean in the minds of people, right? If all he does is go to work and come back, that's not enough. But I've seen this guy get home and take our mom somewhere, or take a group of women somewhere because they need to get this thing, or say, hay que arreglar tal cosa, or the kids, right? He got to take them somewhere. So I know there's more that he does, but it doesn't get attributed to the list of things that he does, because he just does it. And it's also not cooking and cleaning.
Right, exactly.
Does that make sense?
Yes.
So I always say, okay, take whatever the list you're going to make and just give me the parallel to that of what your husband does. Because I know your husband just doesn't come home and drop into bed.
He leaves a pile, the tomorrow pile.
Right.
Yeah, no, I give him that. Yeah, he is a beast. He's a beast at work. But I mean, and then she says, living as a woman, including heels, cramps, and unsolicited advice.
Okay,
that's where
the last three. So unsolicited advice to me means somebody that comes up to her and says, "You shouldn't be living your life like this."
Oh,
so it's somebody's giving her advice that she's not asking for, right?
Right.
But I don't know if that means that her spouse is giving her advice she doesn't need. But I know her spouse, very cool dude, very laid back dude. I wouldn't say that who he is.
Maybe the mother and the mother-in-law.
No.
Yeah, it's everyone, because I do know and I do hear that women get unsolicited advice all the time. You're not doing this right. You're not, you should do this way. Oh, that's why your kids are like that. Things like that. And I've been here I've been present when I hear it, and I'm like, oh no, that you shouldn't be saying that. But those three have nothing to do with us. The last three to me have nothing to do. Cramps, that's God. That's not us. What's the other one? Unsolicited advice. Heels. Depends on who you're married to. Maybe. Right?
That way.
That's not us. But that's not us. There's no. It sounds like to me that list. It sounds like we work really hard. We do a lot, right? We do a lot. But to ask if we can survive, can men survive doing all that? We do all that. The full-time job, we do it. I just explained everything. Whatever those parallels are to what you're doing, that's why it's a partnership. And the other part is that I meant to say before is the compliment, right? There's things that you do that I cannot do, and I recognize that. There's things that my wife does for us here that I not only can I not do it, I don't want to do it, because I know she does it with ease. Right? Whatever that is. Yeah, I'm going to do it. I can do it, but I'm going to mess it up, or it's not going to come out as nice. It's not going to come out as pleasant. So I have learned in my maturity to always be open to whatever it is she's going to bring to the table. And I don't mean money. I'm talking about bring to the table in whatever we're doing. Right? I expect that same open concept from her, because there's things that I do that I bring to the table that she doesn't want to do, because I do it with ease, right? easy peasy thing. Greeting cards. We're going to a party. Greeting card here. She gives it to me. Here, you're the writer. You write the greeting card. And I'm like, come on, you do it. It's for so and so. It's for your family. You're the writer. You do this really well with ease. I would have to sit here for 35 days to think about what to say nice, right? So, and she's right. I bring that. I can just easily write something cool and we're out. So anyway, the compliment of your spouse and accepting that and recognizing that is so important to me, to your relationship, because you got to know there's things that he does that you don't want to do.
Oh, hell yeah.
But don't make him feel like shit if he doesn't do the things that you want him to do.
I want you to wear my heels.
We
have the same size foot, so.
I talk a lot of crap about my husband, but he is a beast at work, and I give him that. And he may not always compliment me the way that I want him to compliment me.
Compliment me. You saw that, right?
No.
But he has
right. That's a great example. Because there's things that he's not going to say to you. He's never going to say them to you.
Yes. But he says it in his own language. He says it in his own language. Yeah,
exactly. He strikes me as acts of service, right? This is how he delivers his love language, right? This is what it is. I provide, I build, I create, I bring stuff home. Bringing stuff home, even though if you may feel like it's clutter and whatever, think about having a dog or a cat and how they show their human that they love them. They bring dead birds home. They bring stuff home.
I'm gonna edit this part out. You know, they can bring stuff home is a good thing. But that
you have, it's part of it. It's like if he's bringing stuff home, it's because look what I brought home. Look what and you're like, that's from Sanford Son. Right? That's from Sanford Son. What are you doing with that? Yeah, and so he's all he wants from that is like, wow, qué chulo se ve eso, qué lindo. Whatever. Wow, even though you know that in 10 days you're tossing it. But he just wants to know, look what I brought home. You're like, qué lindo. That's it.
It's true. He has known. Listen, there's been moments where I'll make something like passionate, like cooking passionate, and then like he'll come in and he'll eat it and doesn't say anything, and I'm like, right? And then he might say like, "¿Y por qué tú te quedó así?" Like, something like that, right? But then the one time that I think this is not a good meal, he'll call me from the road and be like, "Mira, te estaba llamando para decirte que tú te quedó nítido." And then you're like, oh, and then I go like this. Ay,
right.
Vamos a ver televisión abajo.
Da la vuelta.
Vamos a ver televisión.
Hazte un Yui ahí y regresa para la casa. So he has his own way of saying it. You just gotta listen for it. Something else that I used to say, and I used to say that when we used to get into groups is, don't miss the violets you're receiving because you're waiting for the roses.
I like that.
Coño, you know what?
You gotta find it.
I like that. Don't miss the violets you're receiving because of the roses.
Because you're waiting for the roses.
Yeah, because you're waiting for the roses. I don't. Yeah, and I'm not a rose girl. I like violets.
This no longer feels like the battle of the sexes.
It feels.
It never was. I told you from the beginning.
Let me tell you.
The minute you invited me.
I think nobody's won here. Listen,
I think we're all winning.
It's a tie.
No, listen. So I've actually reached out to Victor at times, be like I'm pissed at something and I'm set in my ways and I'm like, this was happening, blah, blah, blah. And then he'll be like, can we talk about it? And I'm like, nope, we can talk about it, but you ain't gonna convince me. Nope. And then he starts talking and by the end I'm like this, right? So today I was like, I'm coming in, I'm ready for him. It's not gonna happen today. Nope, I got Bree on my side. No. The minute he opens his mouth, I'm like,
should be lost.
But that's great, I mean, there's hope for me.
But let me say this: if you talk to my wife, none of this is true.
We plan to one day.
None of this is true, because that's the thing: is that this is my point of view. This is how I operate. This is what I try to do. She's gonna have a completely different take on it. He doesn't do this. He doesn't do that. He does do this. He does do that. But. And that's exactly what I expect, is that she's not gonna come in here and be like, oh no, este tigre tiene tanta experiencia. This is the best guy
No.
on earth. Absolutely not, because I make a million mistakes.
I think that it's a lot like kids. Like we as parents give
We're
our kids
learning.
advice. No, we give them advice and they don't listen to it, but somebody else repeats it, and it's like
The same advice.
yeah. So we're the same with our partner.
Mira, coño, carajito, yo te dije a ti eso.
Sí. All
Hace 10 años.
cada rato. Eso me pasa
Yeah,
cada rato.
that's something too. Is I've learned is you don't have to always be the person with the answer. Find the person that has the answer that you agree with, and let them be the person that delivers it.
Oh,
You know, and that happened with me with my kids, the boys. So when they were little, I used to take them to these, like teenager type of events for like anti-drug, anti-alcohol type of things. So I would take them because that was part of my job. And in our conversations with each other, I would always talk to them about, the birds and the bees and addictions and be careful and your friends and influences. And you guys should really, because I knew from research and because of my job, if you as a kid, don't pick up any habits before you're 19, chances are you're never going to get addicted to anything moving forward. I knew that from research, right? If you think about people that smoke all their lives, they started when they were 14, 15, 16, and then that became their addiction. That became the thing to go to. Sex, that became their addiction. That became the thing to go to, right? Alcohol, because they partied at 16, that became the addiction, yada, yada. So I always try to convince them, hey, you shouldn't try this to your whatever. You shouldn't try this to your whatever.
I never had a chance. Bro.
We're going 1 year out the other.
Yeah.
But then I realized that some of the younger guys and girls that were in these camps that we were going to, they were delivering these messages to the younger kids. So I was like, that's the same message I'm trying to deliver. I'm going to bring my kids to these meetings. So I would bring them, and they got into these meetings with these older kids. And then eventually one of the kids that they deemed was cool, right, to them was a cool older kid, said, I made the pledge moving forward that I would not try anything till I'm 19, and I signed this contract or whatever. 2 days later, my kids come to me and they're like, Dad, we want to do the same thing. We want to do the pledge that we don't, whatever. And in my head, I'm like, little fuckers, I told you that shit when, right? But so-and-so says it, he's cool. But then I realized, like, wait, the message still got delivered. The commitment still happened. It just wasn't me. I don't have to be the hero every time.
Nobody's a prophet in their own land.
Yes.
Damn.
Exactly that.
I want to come up
Which is why I said my wife is going to be like,
she's probably right behind that door.
Ese tigre no hace eso.
She's right behind that door. You know she.
Oh, yeah, she's listening. She's got a cup.
I heard what you said on the radio.
Yep. Eso de subir arriba. Canceled.
Te va a quedar abajo. Va a bajarte con cesta allá abajo.
I can go outside right now and show you a calendar. It tells me, this is when I have to do these things. Or this is what's coming up. Let me remember.
I'm going to have to put something on the toilet seat. Wipe the toilet seat cuando tú terminas, coño.
No, ya tú estás buscando problema. She's back to the toilet. Toilet.
It always comes back to either the
It always comes back to the toilet. And
Mucho, man. This Friday, bro.
You're just full of shit.
Folks who don't know, you're getting something done next week. And you can't seem to get out your head.
I even had a dream about it too.
This is where we
say, okay, well, thank you for being on the show. Thank you for being on the show, Gorgeous. This was awesome.
Thank you. It was great to see you both. I hope to see you here soon.
Absolutely. Yes.
Yeah, then maybe we can do it together live.
A live show. That'd be awesome.
Live show. Yes.
That would be really good.